periodic trend in properties of element. The first concept which we are going to talk in periodic trends is the atomic radii. When we say about atomic radii, the atomic radius of a chemical element is always going to be the measure of the size of its atom. Or simple, we can say that it is the distance from the center of the nucleus to the boundary of your surrounding shells of the electrons, because as we know, nucleus is in the center and the electrons keep revolving around the nucleus. So when we say about atomic radius, it is the distance between the nucleus and the boundary of the surrounding shells of your electrons. So depending upon whether the element is going to be a non-metal or a metal, there are three different types of your atomic radii it is being used. The first one which we say is, it is called as covalent radius. What is covalent radius? It is nothing but a measure of your size of an atom that is going to form part of your one covalent bond. So wherever the covalent bond is existing, wherever we have the covalent bond, the radius or the size of the measure of the atom that is going to form the covalent bond, we say it as covalent radius. And basically your covalent radius is being measured in either picometers or your angstrom, and we know that 1 angstrom is equal to 100 picometer. So generally when we say the sum of your two covalent radii should always be equal to the bond length between the two atoms. Wherever we say that covalent bond is existing between two atoms, so we have to calculate the bond length between those two atoms, and that is nothing but the sum of your covalent radii of the two elements which we are going to consider in order for the formation of your covalent bond. And the second radius which we talk about is your ionic radius. Ionic radius is nothing but your measure of an atom ions in your crystal lattice, or in simple term we could say that it is the half the distance between your two ions that is going to touch each other, or we could say wherever the ionic bond is existing. So ions may be larger or smaller compared to your neutral atom, and that is totally going to depend upon the charge of the ion. That can be either a cation or your anion. So suppose when we say when an atom is going to lose an electron to form a cation, whenever it is going to lose an electron to form a cation, the loss of electron is not going to contribute to the shielding and the other electrons from the charge of the nucleus. Or the other section we can say, the more strongly attracted to the nucleus and the radius of the atom will keep getting smaller. In the same way, when an electron is being added to the atom in order to form an anion, so it is of course the added electron is going to repel from other electrons, which will help in or which will result in an increase in the size of the atom. So ionic radius, it can be in two categories, that is either it can be lesser than the neutral atom or it can be higher than the neutral atom, and that possibility exists because of the formation of either a cation or an anion. And the next radius which we talk about is your van der Waals radius. Van der Waals radius is nothing but the half of the distance between the center of the nuclei of atoms of your noble gases Basically, van der Waals radius exists for the nuclei of the atom of your noble gases, and atoms of your noble gases are held together by a very weak van der Waals force of attraction. And when we say about the distance will reflect, or it will give you information about the action of your intermolecular force, which will be related to your van der Waals interactions. And since we come to know, or knowing the van der Waals radius, that will help us to predict how closely the atom will pack to form a solid, because van der Waals radius is going to reflect the action of your intermolecular force. And the next radius is your metallic radius. When we say metallic radius, it is the half of your internuclear distance between the two adjacent metal ions. It is two adjacent metal ions in your metallic lattice. And the metallic radius is going to be the radius of an atom wherever there is an existence of a metallic bond. The metallic radius is going to be the radius of an atom wherever we are having the formation of a metallic bond. So we could conclude that when we talk about atomic radius is going to exist in different categories. That can be your covalent radius, that can be your ionic radius, or your van der Waals radius, or the metallic radius.